Guy Gottschalk, president of My Digital Money. Web 1.0 was basically the first iteration of the internet from 1990 to about 2004, 2005, where you essentially have a bunch of static HTML pages. So you go on a website and you see what you see. And I can be, looking at a website on one side of the country, and then someone else on another side, they see the same exact thing, right?
Okay.
So that's Web 1.0, just a bunch of information served up to people. But Web 2.0 started in 2004 to 2005, and that's more interactive websites where you have JavaScript and other technologies where now you can produce more dynamic, interactive content that might be different for each person. So it actually takes in who you are, it takes data from you. So you're not just receiving data, but you're also giving data to the website. And that's where this whole big industry of advertising, monetizing people's data has come from. So now these big tech companies are making a lot of money just based on the information they're gathering from you, from your browsing history, right? What you're doing online, they collect that and they can sell that and make a lot of money from you. So that's Web 2.0, is just having this more interactive, but you have this central, big tech companies that are kind of in control of your data. And Web 3.0 is about kind of distributing that control back to people and basically decentralizing the internet, where you don't have these big tech companies that can censor you, can make money off you, and all that. So that's where blockchain comes in, and what can get us to having a bunch of these decentralized applications is technology, because it's really hard to develop these decentralized applications, right? You have to be very technical, and you have all these projects that are working on it. You have some decentralized applications already, but it's not where it needs to be to really replace big tech, right? Right now, you're still relying on Google. You're still relying on Facebook. Most of what you're doing is through Web 2.0 type technologies. So in order to get to a point where you have a lot of these decentralized alternatives, we need to make it easy for businesses to develop these applications. So there's technologies that are coming out that help provide the infrastructure to businesses. And one of those is called Flux. So essentially, think of it like Amazon Web Services for businesses, or Microsoft Azure. That's cloud computing services. It makes it easy for businesses to run their applications without needing their own hardware, right? So it's providing a service for people to build decentralized applications using code, using programming languages they're familiar with. So it makes it accessible to businesses to build these decentralized applications in the hopes of it. And it's not centralized, right? So Flux basically has a whole ecosystem where people can operate nodes, right? So it's not the company that owns the operations of it. People are incentivized through these Flux tokens to take part in the operations, in the infrastructure. So it's not owned by one company, right? Because if Bezos doesn't like what you're doing as a business, he could shut down your AWS nodes, right? But with this, there's not going to be one company that owns the computing, right? And so it's just kind of like a decentralized Amazon Web Services kind of thing. So that's what will get us to where we need to be. Is technologies like this.
Right.